Complete IELTS, Bands 4 to 5, by Guy Brooke-Hart and Vanessa Jakeman. Published by Cambridge University Press. This recording is copyright. CD1. Track 1. Unit 1. Listening. Exercise 1. 1.
ROMNEY.
2.
CAERNS.
3.
BRAGG.
4.
JICKELL.
5.
Faucet. That's FAWCETT.
6.
It costs 50 cents.
7.
My telephone number is 0726 05791.
8.
30 Lovers Road. That's LOVERS.
Track 2. Unit 1. Listening. Exercise 2. 1.
BRACKEN.
2.
GOWER.
3.
JEREMY.
4.
POLLARD.
5.
VERNON.
6.
17.
7. 01950 674 236. 8.
31st.
Track 3. Unit 1. Listening. Exercise 5.
Dubai Palm Apartments. Amanda speaking. How can I help you?
Oh, hi, Amanda. I'm ringing to inquire about a holiday apartment for the month after next.
Okay, no problem. Let me get your details first, then I'll tell you what we've got. Is that all right?
Fine, go ahead.
Okay. Can I have your name first, please?
Yes, it's Leo Blücher. That's Leo. That's my first name. And my surname is BLUCHER.
Okay, I've got that. Where are you from, just out of interest, Leo?
I'm Austrian.
Right, okay. And what's your address?
It's number 37, Blumengasse in Vienna.
Right. Could you just spell Blumengasse for me, please, Leo? My German's not too good.
Sure. It's BLUMENGASSE.
Great, thanks. And what's the weather like in Vienna at the moment?
It's pretty grey and rainy, I'm afraid. Hope it's better in Dubai.
Yes, it's lovely at the moment. Sunny and warm, but not too hot. Now, can you give me your phone number?
Yes, It's 4312-11057.
Great. So, you're looking for a holiday apartment, Leo. How many people is it for? Just yourself?
No, there'll be 4 of us, 2 adults and 2 children.
Fine. And when would you like it from?
Ideally from the 1st of January.
January the 1st. Okay. I'll have a look and see what we've got. How long would you like to stay?
Well, it depends a little bit on the price, but I think that about 9 days would be perfect.
Fine. And talking of prices, what would be your maximum, do you think?
Well, I've looked on the internet, but I don't know if I'm being realistic if I say 200 euros per day. Things seem to range from 150 to well over 400.
Well, it depends where, of course, but I think we could probably find something for you at that price.
Great. There are various other things, though. Our children are quite small, and we don't want to take them to restaurants all the time. So one thing we'd really appreciate is a fully equipped kitchen so we can do some cooking.
Yes, I completely understand. Do you have any other special requirements?
Yes, we live in the city centre, hundreds of miles from the sea, so we'd really like to be able to see it from our apartment.
Okay, I'll note that down. All our apartments come with air conditioning and central heating, by the way.
Oh dear, one thing I don't like is the noise of air conditioning in the background. Can you make sure it's as quiet as possible?
Yes, I'll look into that. Anything else?
Yes, just one more thing. We'd like to hire a car while we're in Dubai, so we'll need to have a parking space, I think. We don't want to have to walk a long way from the car to the apartment.
I think you're quite right. I'll look into all these things and make a list of possible apartments. Do you have an email address so I can send them to you?
Track 4. Unit 1. Speaking. Exercise 1.
Can you tell me what you do, Hanan? Do you work or are you a student?
Yes, I'm a student. I'm studying medicine because I want to be a doctor. At the moment, I'm studying English as well because I hope to do part of my degree course in Australia.
And where do you come from?
I come from Mutra in Oman.
Can you describe Mutra a little bit for me?
Yes, it's quite a large city by the sea and also near the mountains. It's very beautiful and very old. It's very hot in the summer, but the winter is usually very pleasant. Also, Mutra is an important port.
Can you tell me what you do, Kwan? Do you work or are you a student?
I'm a student. I'm studying economics at Cheongju University at the moment.
And where do you come from, Kwan?
I come from a small village near Cheongju in Korea.
Can you describe your village to me?
Well, it's in the mountains. The people work as farmers and they are very friendly. It's a good place to live, but not much happens there.
Track 5. Unit 1. Speaking. Exercises 3 and 4.
What do you like about the area where you live?
Oh, I really like the sea and the part of the city just by the sea because it's very beautiful and there are always lots of people there. I live in the suburbs, but I enjoy going shopping in the city center. There are plenty of good shops and I like buying clothes.
What things in Mutra do you not like?
I'm not very keen on the hot weather, and the hot wind from the desert is something I don't like.
How is the area changing?
They're building more houses and roads. It's getting busier.
What do you like about the area where you live, Kwan?
I find walking in the mountains very enjoyable. And another good thing is the people, because they are very friendly and generous. I think people in my village are very happy and relaxed.
What things in your village do you not like?
Well, I live by a busy main road, and I find the traffic very unpleasant. I really dislike the noise of cars and lorries.
How is the area changing?
There's more traffic, so the village is becoming noisier. Also, young people are leaving the village, so it isn't so lively.
Track 6. Unit 1. Pronunciation. Exercise 2.
Can you tell me what you do, Hanan? Do you work or are you a student?
Yes, I'm a student. I'm studying medicine because I want to be a doctor.
And where do you come from?
I come from Mutra in Oman.
Can you tell me what you do, Kwan? Do you work or are you a student?
I'm a student. I'm studying economics at Cheonju University at the moment.
And where do you come from, Kwan?
I come from a small village near Cheonju in Korea.
Track 7. Unit 2. Listening. Exercise 3. Conversation 1.
Could you give me a contact number, please?
Sure, I'll give you my mobile. It's 07816 038 924.
Thanks. We'll let you know when the glasses are ready.
Track 8. Conversation 2.
How much is the flight to Madrid?
It's $349.
Do you have anything cheaper? Say $300?
I'm afraid not.
Track 9. Conversation 3.
How old are you, Maddie?
I'm 16.
And what date's your birthday?
October the 12th?
Good. So we'll be able to start the driving lessons in the second half of October.
Yes.
Track 10. Conversation 4.
Shall we see each other later in the coffee bar?
OK, what time shall we meet?
Can you get there by 4:30?
My maths class finishes at 4, so yes, that should be OK.
Track 11. Unit 2. Listening. Exercise 7.
Hello?
Hi, Clive, is that you?
Yes, hi, Debbie.
Did you manage to see those candidates for our expedition?
Yes, I did, and there was an extra one who was quite a surprise. You know, he hadn't applied, and he just turned up out of the blue, so we haven't got any details for him.
Really? Tell me about him.
OK, and you can take some notes, then we'll see what we think.
Fine.
First, he's called Sanjay Dabashi.
OK, Sanjay is spelled S-A-N-J-A-Y, right?
Correct. And Dubashi is D-U-B-A-S-H-I.
D-U-B-A-S-H-I. Fine, thanks. I'm just getting that down. And did you find out how old he is?
Sure, he's round about our age, you know. Well, a couple of years older. He's 27. Quite a big man, quite muscular, impressive, with a big moustache.
And what does he do?
Well, actually, he just says he's an office worker, you know, just one of those people with quite a routine job in an office.
Doesn't sound like he finds his job very interesting. Has he got any experience, do you know, of going off to remote places on foot?
Yes, he's been all over the place. He was telling me all about a trip he made in a Land Rover across Central Africa from one side to the other, which sounded pretty exciting and dangerous.
Great. I think it would be really interesting to cross Central Africa. I'd love to do that. Anything physical? I mean, where he actually had to walk instead of driving? You know, being so muscular, as you say.
I was coming to that. Last year, he went to Russia with some friends in their summer holidays, and they went up a mountain. Let's see, Mount Elbrus, it's called.
Wow, now that's really quite something. By the way, Elbrus is spelled E-L-B-R-O-S, isn't it?
Not quite, it's U.S.
Ah, okay. What qualifications does he have which would interest us? Has he done any sort of specialist training, for example?
Well, he's done a course in first aid, which may be pretty useful. If any of us get injured, he should know what to do.
Good. It might be useful to have someone who knows how to do first aid in case someone has an accident. Can he swim?
I didn't ask now you mention it. I forgot. But he did tell me he can hold conversations in 5 languages. He's not fluent in all of them, but he can get by. He grew up in India, and I suppose that helps, for learning languages, though now he lives over here.
Right. What else? Has he been to university, for instance?
Yes, he graduated in media studies, though he says he's never worked in the media.
OK. And when he's not off on expeditions to remote places, what does he like doing in his spare time?
He seems to do all sorts of things. One thing he told me, which could be useful, is that he likes fishing.
Yes, we'd better tell him to bring his fishing rod. That is, if we choose him.
And he seems to spend a lot of time at the gym. He says he really likes to keep fit. And when you meet him, you'll believe it's true.
Great. Another fitness fanatic like you. Well, sounds like I should meet him, doesn't it? When can you fix that up?
Track 12. Unit 2. Speaking. Exercise 2.
So, Hussein, I'm going to ask you some questions about your childhood. Do you come from a large family or a small family?
I'm sorry, could you repeat, please?
Do you come from a large family or a small family?
Well, actually, it's not large or small. What's the word? It's middle. No, sorry, it's medium-sized. I am 2 brothers. Sorry, I have 2 brothers who are both older than me.
As a child, who did you spend more time with? Your family or your friends?
When I was a small child, I spent more time with my family, my mother, who looked after me, and I played a lot with my brothers. Then, when I was a bit older, about 10 or 11, I started to play more with friends I made at school, because we enjoyed doing the same things, and my mother went back to her job.
And when you were a child, how did you spend your free time?
I think I watched television quite a lot when I was a small child, and I played computer games with my brothers. When I was older, I did a lot of sports with my friends. We went swimming, and we played tennis and football because I love doing sports.
What did you enjoy most about school?
I think I enjoyed doing science subjects most. I liked physics and chemistry, especially. We didn't do sports at school, so I did those in my free time.
And when you were at school, who do you think was your best teacher?
I think perhaps my chemistry teacher, because she explained things very clearly. Also, she was I'm not sure about the word, interested. No, enthusiastic. She made us do tests, experiments in the laboratory, so we learned a lot. I never missed one of her lessons.
Track 13. Unit 2. Speaking. Exercise 3.
So, Hussein, I'm going to ask you some questions about your childhood. Do you come from a large family or a small family?
I'm sorry, could you repeat, please?
Do you come from a large family or a small family?
Well, actually, it's not large or small. What's the word? It's middle. No, sorry, it's medium-sized. I am two brothers. Sorry, I have two brothers who are both older than me.
Track 14. Unit 2. Speaking. Exercise 4.
As a child, who did you spend more time with? Your family or your friends?
When I was a small child, I spent more time with my family, my mother, who looked after me, and I played a lot with my brothers. Then, when I was a bit older, about 10 or 11, I started to play more with friends I made at school, because we enjoyed doing the same things, and my mother went back to her job.
And when you were a child, how did you spend your free time?
I think I watched television quite a lot when I was a small child, and I played computer games with my brothers. When I was older, I did a lot of sports with my friends. We went swimming, and we played tennis and football because I love doing sports.
What did you enjoy most about school?
I think I enjoyed doing science subjects most. I liked physics and chemistry, especially. We didn't do sports at school, so I did those in my free time.
And when you were at school, who do you think was your best teacher?
I think perhaps my chemistry teacher, because she explained things very clearly. Also, she was I'm not sure about the word, interested. No, enthusiastic. She made us do tests, experiments in the laboratory, so we learned a lot. I never missed one of her lessons.
Track 15. Unit 2. Pronunciation. Exercise 1. 1,
Asked,
2,
mended,
3.
called.
Track 16. Unit 2. Pronunciation. Exercise 2.
Appeared, asked, ended, enjoyed, finished, hoped, improved, invented, liked, looked, needed, occurred, played, remembered, started, wanted, watched, wished.
Track 17. Unit 3. Listening. Exercise 3.
Good evening and welcome aboard the Pride of Poole. In this recorded announcement, we'll give you details of some of the facilities available on board this ship. You're currently standing in the reception area in the centre of B deck. If you're feeling hungry after a long day's travelling, go up the stairs to A deck, where you'll find the restaurant. The restaurant caters for all appetites, with anything from a light snack to a full 3-course meal. The restaurant will be open from the moment the ship leaves port to half an hour before arrival. Next to the restaurant on A deck in the lounge, there are reclining seats with music headphones if you want to relax. The headphones are free, but people using this area are encouraged to keep noise to a minimum so that other passengers can enjoy themselves and sleep or read if they wish. For those of you who'd like some entertainment, just next door to us on this deck is a 40-seat cinema showing the latest full-length feature films. The cinema programme is available here at reception, but you'll have to buy the tickets themselves at the cinema entrance, just before you go in. Just next to the cinema is the staircase leading down to the cabins on C deck. To access your cabin, just show your boarding pass to a steward, who will give you the key. On this deck, that is B deck, you'll also find an area where you can either play games in our special electronic games arcade or do your shopping. Just beyond that on the same level, people who want a bit of fresh air or just want to see the sea can go out onto the viewing deck, which is in the open air. Make sure you wear a jacket or coat, as it can be quite cold and windy.
Track 18. Unit 3. Listening. Exercise 6.
Now for some further details. This voyage is an overnight trip. The ship leaves port at 7 p.m. and the journey takes just over 12 hours and 45 minutes, reaching our destination at about 8 tomorrow morning. This is for the convenience of those wishing to catch the 9 o'clock train, which leaves from the ferry terminal. Passengers with children in their party are informed that there is a special section in the restaurant with kids' food and a play area. People with children are encouraged to turn up early to get a place, as the section is very popular. Make this a trip to remember. Here at the information desk, you can obtain a souvenir ship's keyring for €4.50. You can upgrade from a tourist class cabin to a first class cabin. And you can get your train tickets here, which will save you time queuing in the station tomorrow morning. If you buy them on the ship, you can get them for 20% off. For those using the lounge and wishing to check their email, there's a wireless connection, but you'll have to bring your own laptop. You can also watch the latest TV programs there or in the coffee bar next to the restaurant. Finally, a unique feature on this crossing only. Anyone who buys a fashion item from our wonderful range of men's and women's clothes in the shopping area has the chance to win a free holiday. All you have to do is complete a sentence starting, I like Sealand ferries because, and the best sentence wins the prize of a holiday in Switzerland with tickets to a 3-day music festival included. Talk to any member of staff for more details.
Track 19, Unit 3, Speaking, Exercise 2.
Well, I'm going to talk about a trip I made across Australia. The transport I used was a motorbike. It wasn't a new bike, it was, second-hand, and I bought it because I wanted to see Australia. I didn't want to use public transport because I wanted to be independent. I had a month's holiday before I started my course, and I made a trip with a friend, a Chinese girl, because I was frightened of traveling alone. I met her at a language school where we studied English together. We traveled along the south coast and saw some of the desert. The good thing about the journey was that we met a lot of other people who were traveling. We went to places which are difficult to reach on public transport, and the trip was quite cheap. Also, the motorbike had quite a powerful engine, so it was fast and exciting. The bad things were the rain and the heat, because they made us tired. I have great memories of the trip, because I felt really free. We could go where we liked. Also, we met some very friendly people, and we saw a lot of interesting places. I still have friends who I made during the trip. In all, I think it was the best journey I've ever made.
Thank you.
Track 20, Unit 3, Pronunciation, Exercise 1.
Motorbike.
Track 21, Unit 3, Pronunciation, Exercise 2.
Transport. Studying. Independent. Holiday. University. Powerful. Exciting. Expensive. Memories. Interesting.
Track 22, Unit 4, Listening, Exercise 3.
Good morning. Can you tell me about the ticket options, please?
Certainly. We've got various options, depending on whether you want to just visit parts of the exhibition or all of it. It's organised into various different sections, and because it's so large, you may not be interested in everything or have time for everything. You can buy tickets just for the sections you want to visit, and that makes it a lot cheaper.
Well, I've really come here to see things to do with electronics.
Right. Then I think you'll find the first part of the exhibition as you go in is quite relevant. It's all about electronics and how we can use them to protect the world around us. You know, the environment, and what we can do to avoid damaging it further.
Protecting the environment. That sounds interesting. Anything I should specially look out for there?
There are lots of new devices. One which fascinated me when I went round was a new instrument for measuring how the temperature of the ocean changes at different levels. And this can be done from a ship on the surface right down to the bottom.
Great. I'll look out for that.
OK. And I see you've got your son with you, which is nice because The subject of the next section is all about different things for keeping an eye on your children and looking after their safety. It contains a range of things, from electronic instruments used in medicine to children's electronic games, and even a number of new devices to prevent children from having an accident when they're at home.
That sounds useful.
Yes, there's even an invention for older children. You'll see a demonstration of it while you're there, which helps parents to make sure their kids are going to school. Really useful in families where both parents work. It sort of electronically tells parents about their kids' attendance and sends them a signal via the internet.
Very convenient, but my son is a bit young to worry about that yet. Are there any other sections which feature electronics?
Sure. There's another section. It's the third you come to, I think, which should interest everyone. It contains lots of new electronic instruments or devices for looking after and working with money. You know, like that thing you must have heard of, which counts what you're putting into your supermarket trolley and adds up the bill as you go around.
Right, money. That sounds interesting too. Well, thanks for the information. I'd like tickets for myself and my son for those 3 sections then, please.
Track 23. Unit 4. Listening. Exercise 5.
Excuse me?
Yes?
Before you go through, I wonder if you could help us by answering a few questions for a survey. It won't take long.
No problem. We're not in any hurry.
Fine, thanks. Now, let's look at the questions.
Okay.
Here they are. First one. Why are you visiting the exhibition?
Well, I want to keep up with the latest developments in electronics, you know. I was recommended by a friend to come here and see what new devices and inventions are coming out and learn a bit. I mean, I don't generally go shopping for new electronics. I'm not the sort of person who goes out and buys all the latest gadgets. The prices are too high when they're new. But it interests me. And I thought also there would be things which would interest my son, and he'd enjoy it as well. So that's why we're here.
Okay. And here's a question to find out what sort of consumer you are. Have you bought any electronics recently?
Recently? Sure. I was thinking of buying a new calculator for the office, but I decided it wasn't really necessary because I can do all the calculations just as easily on a computer. Anyway, I got a new laptop recently because, you know, they have so many applications and they don't take up much space either. Better to have lots of things on the same device, I think. The other thing I bought was a present for my husband's birthday. I thought it would be nice to have a record of our holidays, so I bought him a camera, and I'm hoping to get him more interested in photography. I'm not very keen on the sort of pictures you can take with a mobile phone, you see. I think it's better to go for higher quality.
Right. And here's a question about this building. I know you haven't had a chance to look around a lot yet, but at first sight, what do you think of it?
Oh, it looks pretty good to me. It's got lots of natural light, so you don't have to put up with lots of electric lighting, which can be quite tiring on the eyes. It feels very large and spacious, which is great, because although it's full of activity and quite noisy, it doesn't feel too crowded. Also, when you look up at the ceiling near the entrance with the design of stars and planets on it, that's something I really like. I'm not so keen on those revolving doors, though. I always feel I'm going to get stuck in one.
And did you have any difficulties getting to the exhibition?
Well, coming at this time of day, the roads weren't too busy, so that was all right. And there were plenty of signposts, so the car park was easy to find. The only problem was it was full when I arrived. I guess I should have come earlier. So I had to find another one, quite a long walk away, which was a pity. Then we had to stand outside for quite a long time queuing to get in. This exhibition is pretty popular. That was a bit of a problem, because my son gets impatient. But fortunately, it wasn't raining. Otherwise, we might have gone home.
Track 24, Unit 4, Speaking, Exercise 2.
Well, I'm going to talk about my digital camera. Actually, I've got it here because it's very small and fits in my bag. But it takes great pictures. Everything is automatic, so I just point it and press the button. I've had this camera for 2 years. My parents gave it to me for my birthday when I was 18. I didn't ask for a camera, so it was a complete surprise. But it's been really useful. Since I got the camera, I've carried it with me everywhere I've gone on a holiday. For example, in July, I went on holiday to Denmark and Sweden. They're lovely places, and in summer, it's still light at midnight, so I got some great photos there. Also, I've taken lots of photos of special occasions. For instance, when my grandmother was 70, I took photos of her party. I use it to remember things, so I put all the photos on my computer. Then I upload them onto Facebook, so my friends can see them. I've used the camera so often because it's easy to use, and I carry it everywhere. I just enjoy taking photos of places which are beautiful, and people I'm with everywhere they're happy. I've taken more than 1,000 photos since July. In all, it's been a really great present, and I've really enjoyed using it.
Track 25, Unit 4, Pronunciation, Exercise 1.
I've had this camera for 2 years. My parents gave it to me for my birthday when I was 18. I didn't ask for a camera, so it was a complete surprise, but it's been really useful.
Track 26, Unit 4, Pronunciation, Exercise 2.
Since I got the camera, I've carried it with me everywhere I've gone on holiday. For example, in July, I went on holiday to Denmark and Sweden. They're lovely places, and in summer, it's still light at midnight, so I got some great photos there.
Track 27, Unit 5, Listening, Exercise 3.
Hi there, everybody, and welcome to Animal World. Before you start your visit, I'd just like to tell you about a few special events happening here today. They're all free, and I'd really encourage you to go to as many of them as you can, as I think you'll learn a lot. The first event is called the World of Ants, and it's happening this morning, quite soon, in the Insect House, which is just a short walk from here. The well-known entomologist, Dr. David Crocker, who many of you will have seen on television, is giving a lecture all about ants, the different types of ants, how they organise themselves, what they eat, their behaviour, and so on. It's actually a fascinating subject. So, The World of Ants, a lecture by Dr. Crocker in the Insect House, and it starts at 11 o'clock and lasts for 60 minutes. At midday, that's 12 o'clock, there's a film which is just as fascinating, and it's called The Great Migration. This is all about birds and how they migrate across continents and oceans using the sun, the stars, and the Earth's magnetic field. As I said, it's a film, an absolutely spectacular film, which all the family will enjoy. Some fabulous photography, and it's on in Theatre C, which you can see here just behind me. So bear that in mind for 12 o'clock. The next event is a demonstration taking place in the exhibition room and given by Monica Chadha. It's called Encouraging Garden Wildlife. Monica will be showing you ways of encouraging animals, birds and other wildlife to visit and live in your garden. How to place boxes for nests, what food to put out for them, and all sorts of practical advice. That's at 2:30, so just after lunch. The final free event for today is Birds of Prey. Tasha, their keeper, will be giving a display of some of our most magnificent birds and how they fly, and I thoroughly recommend this event. The display includes eagles, vultures and owls, and will be starting at 3:45 on the lawn outside. It's an unforgettable experience. So remember, on the front lawn at 3:45 to see the birds flying.
Track 28, Unit 5, Listening, Exercise 5.
Now, I'll just give you a few directions before you leave, especially for those of you who are feeling a bit hungry. When you leave the main building, you come to an area where the path divides. If you take the right-hand path, you'll see the lake on your right, and exactly opposite the lake on your left is the gift shop. Apart from selling gifts, it sells snacks, sandwiches, and light drinks. If you walk on past the lake on your right, you'll also see the penguins. Go past the penguins and you'll come to the restaurant, also on your right. Don't go too far or you'll come to the aquarium. The aquarium is on your right at the crossroad, and just over the crossroad, also on your right, is the lion enclosure. If you're thinking of having a picnic, the best place to go is the picnic area. And for this, you need to turn left at the crossroad and walk along a few meters. At the end of the path, you'll find the picnic area on your left. Now, if you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer them. And once again, I really hope you enjoy your visit. Thank you.
Track 29, Unit 5, Speaking, Exercise 3.
Which are your favourite animals?
Cats. Well, I love my cat because I've had him for nearly a year now, and I love him. He's so beautiful. He's black with a white nose. He sleeps on my bed every night, and I'm not sure how you say this, but when he's there, I'm not alone. And I'm quite keen on birds. There are lots in the gardens around my house.
Which animals don't you like?
I hate insects in the summer. They're horrible.
Why?
Well, I live near a large river and there are lots of, I don't know what their name is in English, small insects which bite and come at night. I'm not too keen on flies either.
Where are the best places in your country to see wildlife?
That's a difficult question. I'm not sure. There are so many places with wildlife, but I'm not sure how easy it is to see the animals because it's really forest with many trees.
How popular is watching wildlife in your country?
It's hard to say. What is the activity called? Hunting is quite popular for some types of animal, but watching wildlife, I don't think I know if it's popular or not. I think people like to go to zoos, but it's not the same.
Track 30, Unit 5, Pronunciation, Exercise 2. 1.
I'm not sure how you say this, but when he's there, I'm not alone.
2,
I don't know what their name is in English.
3,
That's a difficult question. I'm not sure.
4,
It's hard to say.
5,
What is the activity called?
Track 31, Unit 5, Pronunciation, Exercise 4. 1,
I've had him for nearly a year now, and I love him. He's so beautiful.
2,
I hate insects in the summer. They're horrible.